White People's Burden by Robert Jansen. The United States is a white country. By that I don't just mean that the majority of the citizens are white, though they are for now but not forever. What makes the United States white is not the fact that most Americans are white, but the assumption, especially by people with power, that Americans equal white. Those people don't say it outright. It comes out in subtle ways, or sometimes in ways not subtle. Here's an example. I'm in the line at a store, unavoidable eavesdropping on two white men in front of me. As one tells the other about a construction job he was on, he says, "There was this guy and three Mexicans standing next to the truck." From other things he said, it was clear that this guy was Anglo-white American. It also was clear from the conversation that this man had not spoken to the three Mexicans and had no way of knowing whether they were Mexicans or U.S. citizens of Mexican heritage. It didn't matter. The guy was the default setting for American. Anglo, white. The three Mexicans were not Anglo, not white, and therefore not American. It wasn't four guys standing by a truck. It was a guy and three Mexicans. The race or ethnicity of four men were irrelevant to the story he was telling, but the storyteller had to mark it. It was important that the guy not to be confused with the three Mexicans. Here's another example. From the Rose Garden at a 2004 news conference outside the White House, President George W. Bush explained that he believed democracy would come to Iraq over time. There's a lot of people in the world who don't believe that people whose skin color may not be the same as ours can be free and self-govern. I reject that. I reject that strongly. I believe that people who practice the Muslim faith can self-govern. I believe that people whose skin aren't necessarily are a different color than white can self-govern. It appears the president intended the phrase, "people whose skin color may not be the same as ours," to mean people who are not from the United States. That skin color he refers to, that is ours, he makes it clear is white. Those people not from the United States are a different color than white. So, white is the skin color of the United States. That means those whose skin is not white but are citizens of the United States are. What are they? Are they members in good standings in the nation, even if their skin color may not be the same as ours? This is not simply making fun of a president who can sometimes mangles the English language. This time he didn't misspeak, and there's nothing funny about it. He did seem to get confused when he moved from talking about skin color to religion. Does he think there's no white Muslims? But it seems clear that he intended to say that brown people, Iraqis, Arabs, Muslim people from the Middle East, whatever the category in his mind, can govern themselves even though they don't look like us. And us is clearly white. In making this magnanimous proclamation of faith in the capacities of people in other parts of the world is proclaiming his belief in their ability to govern themselves. He made one thing clear. The United States is white, or more specifically, being a real American is being white. So, what do we do with citizens of the United States who aren't white? That's the question for which this country has never quite found an answer. What do white Americans do with those who share the country but aren't white? What do we do with people we once tried to exterminate? People we once enslaved? People we import from labor and use like animals to build railroads? People we still systematically exploit as low-wage labor? All those people, indigenous, Africans, Asians, Latinos, can obtain the legal rights of citizenship. That's a significant political achievement in some respects. And that popular movement that forced the powerful to give people those rights gives us the most inspiring stories in United States history. The degree to which many white people in one generation dramatically shift their worldview to see people they once considered to be subhuman as political equals is not trivial. No matter how deep the problem of white supremacy we still live with in many comparable societies, problems of racism are as ugly, if not uglier, than in the United States. If you doubt that, ask a Turk what it is like to live in Germany. An Algerian, what is it like to live in France? A black person, that is, like to live in Japan. We can acknowledge the gains made in the United States, always understanding those gains came because non-white people, with some white allies, forced society to change, while still acknowledging the severity of the problem that remains. But it doesn't answer the question, what do white Americans do with those who share the country but aren't white? We can pretend that we have reached the end of racism and continue to ignore the question, but that's just plain stupid. We can acknowledge that racism still exists and celebrates diversity, but avoid the political, economic, and social consequences of white supremacy. But frankly, that's just as stupid. The fact is that most of the white population of the United States have never really known what to do with those who aren't white. Let me suggest a different approach. Let's go back to the question that W.E.B. Du Bois said he knew was on the minds of white people. In the opening of his 1903 classic, The Souls of Black Folks, Du Bois wrote that the real question the whites want to ask him, but were afraid to, was, how does it feel to be a problem? Du Bois was identifying the burden that blacks carry, being seen by the dominant society not as people, but as problems. As a people who pose a problem for the rest of society. Du Bois was rightly to identify the color line as problems of the 20th century. Now, in the 21st century, it is time for whites to self-consciously reverse the direction of that question at heart of color. It's time for white people to fully acknowledge that in the racial arena, you are the problem. We have to ask ourselves, or you have to ask yourself, how does it feel to be the problem? The simple answer, not very good. That is the new white people's burden to understand that we are the problem, come to terms with what that really means, and act based on that understanding. Our burden is to do something that doesn't seem to come natural to people in positions of unearned power and privilege. Look in the mirror honestly and concede that we live in an unjust society and have no rights to some of what we have. We should not affirm ourselves. We should negate our whiteness, strip ourselves of an illusion that we are special because we are white. Steal ourselves so that we can walk in the world fully conscious and try to see what is usually invisible to us white people. We should learn to ask ourselves, how does it feel to be the problem?
George Zimmerman says the president is to blame for racial tensions in the wake of the killing of Trayvon Martin. Zimmerman spoke out in a video provided by the law firm Io and Eichen in Orlando, Florida. Listen to this.
President Obama held his Rose Garden speech stating, if I had a son, he would look like Trayvon. To me, that was clearly a dereliction of duty, pitting Americans against each other solely based on race. Took what should have been a clear-cut self-defense matter, and still to this day, on the anniversary of the incident, he held a ceremony at the White House inviting the Martin Fulton family and stating that they should take the day to reflect upon the fact that all children's lives matter. Well, unfortunately for the president, I'm also my parents' child, and my life matters as well. And for him to make incendiary comments as he did and direct the Department of Justice to pursue a baseless prosecution, he by far overstretched, overreached, and even broke the law in certain aspects.
Hey, how's y'all doing? This is Mr. Blows Your Minds coming with another thought-provoking topic. Man. Well, sometimes a motherfucker take a good ass shit and the person come behind them, even though it be 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes later, you still have the shit scent lingering. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, I don't believe this shit at all, man. I mean, to me, this motherfucker is crazier than crazy. He crazier than a motherfucker, man. This motherfucker here, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make no sense. But I'm putting the pieces together. I'm understanding what the fuck this shit really about. I'm going to break it down to you. For y'all who didn't see, this story had been put out today, and I just want to break down some of the stuff he has said. But then again, I really don't want to give this motherfucker I really don't want to give him no kind of no airtime. I really don't want to put him on the minds and hearts of our people, because I believe this is in a diversion tactic. Because I don't understand. You understand where you coming from and what bullshit and what platform you keep getting. Who the fuck cares about what the fuck you talking about any motherfucking way? You get what I'm saying? I know, y'all. I'm going to be a little having some vulgarity in this dissertation for the simple fact that I just don't get it, man. You understand? I just don't get it. I mean, you did some shit and then want to act as if like you the motherfucking victim. You did some shit. I did the video. Go look at my video. Motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? This I'm talking about, the arrogantness of some people, man. Some people so goddamn arrogant. You doing shit. Instead of taking your monkey ass and go hide in the motherfucking corner, you know what you doing? You keep re-stoking the damn flames. You going over there raking the coals. The coals are trying to die out based on they already been heated up. You know, like, let's give the analogy here. Let's say motherfucker barbecuing. And you get the coals and shit and you spray the lighter fluid on it, right? You're trying to ignite the fire so that you can have a nice fire so that you can start the coals and get it in the process to get the orange glow. Now, once you got it at a temperature that it's not overheating or overcooking your meat, now you put your meats on there and you're cooking and you're barbecuing. Now, the fact if you done cooked everything right, now that you done had your use of the charcoal, right? Now you just allowing it to go through the marination of time, dying out, burning out, and it becoming more ashes until eventually there will be no flames. But then here comes this stupid ass kid who over there with a damn stick and shit, and he over there, you know, hitting on the damn coals and shit and making the shit flame up, right? That's what this motherfucker is. The stupid ass kid that come over there with the stick and shit, and he want to stir up the shit and get the shit restarted again. Now the ashes and shit is all flying again. The heat done flared up a little bit for what it done had. He done reignited the damn shit. Some shit you just need to just let die out. You understand? I mean, especially when you a wrong motherfucker. I mean, some shit you just need to just sit your ass the fuck down, shut the fuck up. But no, you keep stoking shit. You understand? Because this is the arrogantness of some people who don't respect us. You understand what I'm saying? So, what I'm going to do here, I ain't going to spend too much time on it. Just want to put something out here real quick. Let you know I'm still out here. I'm still doing my duty. I want you to let you know that I am working on some things that I'm trying to enhance what I'm trying to do. And I'm trying to get a lot of y'all involved in it. So, if a lot of you want to be participants in it, hit me with the email according to the station here. You understand? And we'll talk about some things and how I want y'all to participate. Now, let's break this down what this motherfucker said. Because I ain't even going to use his name. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not even going to use his motherfucking name. Because he ain't worthy to get there. Because, again, the gall to be sitting here and, I mean, on some platform of like you innocent. is the most craziest shit. Now, we know motherfuckers is crazy. We know they're crazy. We know they're crazy. And this here is just really purporting. But again, I'm telling you, this is a diversion. See, this is to divert us off of where our attention should be focused right about this time. But see, they're gonna keep bombarding us with so many different scenarios because they're trying to get a reaction out of us. Understand what I'm saying? Motherfuckers is trying to entice us to get us into a situation to justify what they really got planned for us. Now, a lot of you who hear this may be like, man, you motherfucker on that crazy shit. I ain't trying to hear that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I got some people that cool and shit. You know what I'm saying? They ain't on that. You can say what you want to say. Alright? But in actuality, this is the dynamic, and this is the schematic, and this is the game that's being played here. Now, this mug has the nerve to start off and say he blames the president. You understand what I'm saying? He's blaming the president about a situation that he caused. You feel what I'm saying? All you gotta do is go back and look at this shit. It all started with the simple fact that according to what he tell his bullshit ass lie, that he's going to store the Target to go do grocery shopping, and he sees somebody coming in or standing around buildings that look suspicious. Okay? So from your observation, right? Let's look at it from his observation from the beginning. Knowing that this man had all the rights to be there because he has kinship, relatives that he is visiting on the property, makes you automatically wrong in your assessment of who you thought he was. Let me say that again. Motherfucker, slow out here. Based on his observation when he left his monkey ass to go to Target to go grocery shopping, as he stated, right? When he observed and seen Trayvon, right? Based on his observation, when he thought this, Columbo ass mentality he think he got, you was wrong than a motherfucker. This man was on there doing, this young man was on his way doing what he was doing. He had all the rights to be where he was. But we know right is an abstract thought though, right? So anyway, based on your first hunch and observation, you are in the wrong. You initiated the whole scenario that whatever you think that caused you to defend yourself, you ignited it. Do he not understand this shit? Do any of you motherfuckers understand this shit? And when I say motherfuckers, I ain't talking about my people. You know what I'm talking about. This shit is crazy, man. That this motherfucker would get his monkey ass on TV and he's sitting here talking like his ass is the victim. Okay? And to sit here and to say that the president, now a lot of us got our own opinion about how we looking at the president. Everybody got their gripes about how they view and his policies and his stance and so forth. Okay? Now, he's going to make the remark and say his incendiary remarks by stating, if I had a son. Well, let's put it this way. If he had a son, would his son be in the same observation if you didn't know it was Obama's son and he had been coming through there and you seen him, well, he still had looked suspicious to you if he had a hoodie on and it's raining and it's dark and they out there in this so-called enclosed community. So he's not stating something on hypotheticalness. He's stating for a factual, with a theory, with the possibility if one of his daughters had been a male and had been in the vicinity, would you have still looked upon his child as the same way you looked upon Trayvon Martin? So how is he incendiary, or how is he igniting, or he's getting the flame stoked on black people when he himself is black him damn self. You see how motherfuckers like to come up with shit trying to solidify their bullshit, and then if you notice in there it also stated that, oh, his conscience is clear. No, this is a guilty motherfucker trying to sell, because the sell job ain't got nothing to do with us, homie. You selling this story trying to clear your conscience to walk around here unscathed don't mean nothing. It's once you leave here, that's where you got your problem at. Your problem ain't got nothing to do with the people on the planet Earth. Your problem is beyond once you leave here. That's where your problem is going to rely at. And so when the president is making a reference to his own child, meaning in reference to like myself, and had it been in a position like that, you would have probably did the same damn thing. And then to say he's pitting Americans against each other. Well, that's why I put in the beginning here about this white people's burden. See, a lot of people who try to be assimilated into a system, and it keeps showing you that you are not part of it. And this thing that I'm gonna do a video on that so-called Soul Raven, that Raven Simone who keep putting her foot in her damn mouth. She's not this, she's not that, she's an American, but I just read to you and showed you that you are not American. American means something entirely different. It don't mean you. Might be the country, but when they say that, they mean somebody entirely different. And so when he's sitting here speaking, talking about he's pitting Americans, well, we know we ain't Americans. He knows we're not Americans, but he's trying to codedly, sneakily, for those who don't understand the difference between what is what, and say as if we're all one big fruit basket in one bowl. But in that fruit basket, in that fruit bowl, you got oranges, apples, bananas, pears, kumquats, nuts, berries, raisins. You feel what I'm saying? And so if that be the case, each one of them has its own specific name for each specific types of fruit. But one particular fruit don't have a sub to it. It is just it. You understand what I'm saying? So it is just it. And that's what this country is. When they say that word Americans, it means one particular people, not in the entirety. So again, you're wrong. You're off. You're so damn off. We understand now why your ass was not convicted, because you can't be convicted because his ass ain't got the right mindset. His mind ain't right. This cat is off his rocker, man. This cat ain't got it all. You understand? Now he says it was a clear-cut defense. Clear-cut defense on what? How y'all diverted the entireness of the story? Trying to make people buy into a particular scenario? I already done disclosed it. I already done proved it. I already done showed it. When you just started 1460, you only took about 4 minutes off the whole damn scenario. For you to sit on TV with the gall and arrogantness that you people display, man, y'all better hope that all this shit about religion is wrong. I swear before you, man, y'all better hope that this shit ain't real. You better hope there's this whole Darwin bullshit that y'all subscribe to about motherfuckers evolving, and that there's nothing behind this, because boy, man, the way y'all thinking that this shit, and the way y'all doing shit, and the way you have no compassion for humanity, man, I would not want to be you. For all you niggas out here who out here trying to simulate and do everything to be like them, you want to catch the shit they gonna get? Be my guest. But them motherfuckers, boy, is burned up. You feel what I'm saying? They arrogant than a motherfucker. And they sit in your face as if like, hey, I've done nothing wrong. They throw each other under the bus when they can. You know, they throw each other under the motherfucking bus just so the fact that they can say, it ain't me. They're never going to put, you can never put the motherfucker, them motherfuckers be moving. Huh? Like motherfucker trying to catch a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? He moving, he constantly moving. And when you catch him, he going to throw it in, it's over there. You know what I'm saying? He's never going to take that, he's never going to take the responsibility. You know how they always do that word on us, take the responsibility, take the responsibility, take the responsibility? They can't. They can't. That's why they so high tolerance in drugs. They can't sleep at night. Why? Why can't you sleep at night? Because you got so many damn demons. Huh? You got so many goddamn demons in your ass. You got so many damn demons in your ass. That's why y'all the ones that know all about this seeing spirits and making these monster ass movies and shit like that. Because you seeing them. You know once that shit is over. You know what y'all getting. So a lot of them is on the borderline trying their best to try to now make some amends. Because they know who they are and they know what they continue to do. And the motherfucker like this don't even know the fuck who he really is. But he trying to play that game. He trying to do everything he can to have some clear conscience and want to blame that something should happen to them. He's trying to put it on somebody in particular so that, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to put it on the highest authority in the land so that when something happens to him, he's going to put that blame on them. Talking about a clear-cut defense. The only clear cut was the fact that y'all lied in y'all the way that the whole thing was orchestrated. But I know we ain't that smart to figure shit out because we don't people who you believe we think you are. Alright? So he is talking in the fact that he says that Obama held a ceremony to the parents of Trayvon Martin reflecting on his life. Right? A man whose life you taken on a bad hunch assumption that puts you in a scenario that caused somebody to lose their life and you want to cry like you the victim. Are you crazy? This motherfucker, no, he crazy. And if you don't know this motherfucker crazy, there's something wrong with you. This motherfucker is truly crazy. Huh? He want to tell somebody how to run their business when you can't even run your own motherfucking business, because if you'd have mind your own damn business, the man would still be here, young man would still be here today. You wouldn't be feeling the flame, the burning reef on your damn head. You wouldn't even be feeling that shit. But no, you wanted to do something thinking that you were something better than what you are, and now you have put yourself in a position that you feel fear of your life and talking about your life when you done took a life and you talking about the clear cut, the fence. Man, no one wants to be you. Huh? There's nothing. And those people that you think that's around you, them white folks that telling you, patting you on your back, what a good job of killing a nigga and all that shit good with that. But for each and every one of you that is sitting there doing that shit, and the ones that's sitting there thinking like that, and the shit you're doing behind, man, boy, don't nobody want to be your ass when it's your time. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of us, I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is, I ain't got that shit that you got. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't done the shit you done, and what your people as a race have done. Most of the shit that most of me and my people have done has been on the cause of chain reaction to shit that you have perpetuated on us since we've been in the vicinity or in some kind of cohabiting with you. So y'all on some crazy psychotic ass shit. Huh? Y'all getting more sicker every day. And everybody else is becoming sicker. And this is what we're seeing here. And he's talking about president is bringing in these people and they're sitting here and giving ceremony. Like he's saying basically Why aren't you bringing me to the White House? I'm the one killed the person and defending myself. I should be the one to be in the White House. Why aren't you having me and my family and talking about how lives matter? Because I saved my life based on the fact that somebody was trying to take my life. This is the sick shit this motherfucker got in his head. This is what he got in his head. He believes that his ass is some kind of hero. He seen the motherfucker he was rolling with, that Frank Taffy motherfucker, right? Then he says that, well, they having this, and then they're gonna have the fact that he's gonna say, well, all child's lives matter. This motherfucker has the nerve to say that my parents have a child, which is I, and don't my life matter? Man. Sickness, man. Sickness. But this is normal. But this is sick. It's sick beyond words, man. I'm not even gonna give him the guard to even say his name. He ain't worthy worth his name to be spoken. You feel what I'm saying? All he's not a child. You might be your parents' child, but you are not a child. You took a child's life. And you want to be glorified for doing that. How sick can you be? When your first assumption of how you assess the whole situation, you were wrong. Can you admit that? Can you look yourself in the face and understand that you were wrong? That when you said he looked suspicious, he looked like he didn't supposed to be there, and all this stuff, come to find out he had all the right to be in there. What about him defending himself against you? Because you were wrong from the beginning. Your whole assessment was wrong. But that don't matter. Y'all something else, man. Y'all is something else. And so, when Obama incendiary comments, when he told the family to go to the DOJ, the Department of Justice. See, this here, right there, what he's saying, when he goes on and when he talks about the DOJ to investigate on him, what he's saying is people of color who have know-how, right, and in positions, you have to obey the rules and policies, which is you are not to help those people. They are not your people anymore because we pay you. You overreached, he said. You overstretched. You broken the law. Huh? Did y'all read that? Did you catch that? That he overreached, overstretched, and even broke the law, which is the code of when you sell out, you don't go back and help them because I'll put you back and you'll be one of them. That's why he's before with a lawyer saying that you broke laws and we're going to find a way how we're going to prosecute you because you did something, because technically in his eyes this was a baseless case. It was baseless prosecution. I was all in the right. I protected myself according to the law, and he was breaking the law when he was defending himself against you because you were wrong from your assessment. But you can't accept that shit. You're just a sick motherfucker like the rest of them. You feel what I'm saying? Telling y'all, man. Woo, man, I tell you. But enough of him. But I'm just telling you why I think they brought this shit out. They brought this shit out because they don't want everybody focusing on what done happened in Mississippi. Okay? About that hanging. Right? But another thing too. This is where we had to be careful as a nation. Haven't we noticed that constantly, they just constantly keep bringing up more and more. They keep constantly doing more and more and more and more and more. Again, go to my analogy about the child raking the coals. They're trying to ignite us in a way to get us to react so that they can justify what they already had planned. Let me say that again. They're trying to come up with a scenario, a situation, a culmination of things so that it may ignite us to make us retaliate. You feel what I'm saying? I already made a video telling y'all what I believe it may be. The clock's still ticking. He's still on the meter. He ain't gone yet, and they can get him right before he go out the door. And man, I don't know if our people will react in the way they want, but maybe it might. Go check that video I told you when I said, what I call that, the fix is in. The fix can happen. It ain't too late, y'all. The clock is still on, the time is still on the meter. You understand? This is the last one that shall be there. They got to use him to the full. Can they let him now get out and be about, and then maybe somehow those people now that he used to be around, to get around him to learn things? Is he more dangerous once he gets out is the point. So this blaming and these assassination attempts and all this shit. Remember, go back to Lincoln, that movie, The Vampire, and at the end about that one that was sitting there who came from the past that was going to be in the future and had the gun on the counter and was looking like he was going to assassinate somebody. I'm just saying, y'all, don't think that that shit can't happen. See, motherfuckers out here sleeping and they thinking they don't know, but they don't realize this is the shit that these motherfuckers is on. They're trying to stoke you up to get you into a frenzy so that they can do what they already had planned to do, because their ass is becoming more scared for the simple fact that as time keeps ticking, the numbers keep dropping. Well, I just wanted to put something out real quick, just let y'all know that I'm still here. I'm making things. I seen this today. Want to drop this down. Really ain't giving no respect to the motherfucker. But it is what it is. See, I'm Mr. Blow Your Mind, your whiteologist. I ain't telling you what I heard, y'all. I'm telling y'all what I know. Fucking up to this.